Okay, so now let's take a look back at how we did exponents and what they're all about. This is an example of an exponent. You've got a big number with a little number. This is called exponent form. Well, what is, well, you would say this, 2 to the power 3. What does that mean? Well, it means if we were to expand it out and write it in what's called expanded form, you would end up getting this number 2 times itself 3 times. So it's 2 times 2 times 2. That is expanded form. Well, what do you get when you multiply all that together? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2, 8. That's the answer, and they have a fancy word for the answer. They call it standard form. So just so we're clear on all the terminology, exponent form, expanded form, standard form, there you are. Okay, let's take a look at some examples of this with BEDMAS. So here we have 2 to the power 3 again, plus 5 minus negative 2. According to BEDMAS, we do brackets. There are no questions inside brackets here, so we go to exponents, E for exponents, and we have an exponent here. 2 to the power 3, what we'll do first. That's 8, like we just learned above. Bring everything else down, plus 5 minus negative 2. Adding, subtracting, they're equal to each other, so we go left to right. 8 plus 5 is 13. Bring down the minus, bring down the minus 2. You have double sign. The double sign we need to get rid of from before. Remember, signs are the same, so that's going to be a big fat plus sign. 13 plus 2 is 15. Alright, over here, a little trickier question. Here we have negative 3 to the power 2. Negative 3 to the power 2, most of you are probably going to think it's 9. I think it's 9, but it's not. It actually is negative 3 times negative 3, which is not negative 9. Signs are the same, so it's positive 9. So this is positive 9. Keep that in mind, though. We're not going to actually do that first. BEDMAS tells us that we should do the brackets first. So let's do that first, the brackets. 5 minus 10 is negative 5. Now bring everything else down. Negative 3 squared plus negative 5. And like I just told you up there, negative 3 squared is this. It's 9. So this will become 9. Double sign, plus minus. That's going to become a big fat minus. So minus 5. 9 minus 5 is 4. Okay, next up, a question like this, a little uglier. We have exponents and brackets all over the place. So we have brackets, and inside the brackets we've got an exponent and a subtraction and a multiplying. We do the exponents first. 2 to the power negative 3. In this case, it's, what that means is it's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 is 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. So when you have a negative base to an exponent, if you remember, the rule was if it was an even number exponent, then the answer is positive, like it was up here. Negative 3 to the power 2, it was an even number, it was positive, because the negative signs kind of cancel each other out. If you've got a negative base and there's an odd number, there's like an odd negative number that can't cancel out the other negative, you're going to have a negative answer. Okay, so this is negative 8. This, now you can treat this as negative 4 times negative 3, or you can just treat this as 4 times negative 3. Either way, you're going to end up getting the same answer. Trust me. So let's do this next. Negative 4 times negative 3, which is positive 12. Okay, normally I would do that separate step for that, but you can do that all in one step there on the same line. Let's rewrite everything else. Negative 4 squared plus 4 minus all that. Okay, brackets still rule. They're still in the game, so we do that first. Negative 8 plus 12 is 4. So keep in the brackets. Bring everything else down. Alright, now we do exponents. This, negative 4 to the power 2, even number. Negative, so it's going to be positive 16. Negative 4 times negative 4 is positive 16. Plus 4 minus 4. 16 plus 4 is 20. Minus 4, the answer 16. Okay, step by step by step. To show your work, and you should not have any problem. Okay, the other thing with exponents are the things called exponent rules. And exponent rules, or as I called them earlier in the year, exponent tricks, are ways that you can figure out the answer without having to do some crazy calculations. And these are used when you're asked to find the answer in exponent form. Here's what I'm talking about. 5 to the power 3 times 5 to the power 4. Now before you start thinking, oh my god, I have to figure out what 5 times 5 times 5 is, multiply that by 5 times 5 times 5 times 5. You don't have to do that. If the question says leave your answer in exponent form, then we can use one of our exponent tricks. Now I showed you before why this is the case, but what you do when you have the same base and you're multiplying exponents, you add them. You add these two numbers together. So what this becomes is 5 to the power 7. That's if they want the answer in exponent form. This is 5 to the power 7. And that's it. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do any crazy multiplication. This only works again if the bases, the big numbers, are the same. When you're multiplying bases, you add the exponents. So, just to make sure that you get it, 8 to the power 3 times 8 to the power 7. Again, the bases are the same. We're multiplying. So with these, you just add them together. So it's 3 plus 7, which is 10. So it's 8 to the power 10. That's it. You can also throw in some negative values in here. 10 to the power 4 times 10 to the power negative 5. Don't be afraid of the negative signs. The base is still going to be 10. And now we have 4 plus negative 5. Remember, you add the exponents together. 4 plus negative 5. You have 4, and you're down 5. That means you are down 1. 10 to the power negative 1. You can also do this with dividing. You might have 6 to the power 9 divided by 6 to the power 4. In this case, when you're dividing and you have the bases the same, what you do with the exponents is you subtract them. So it's going to be 6 to the power 5. And then, just to make sure that you get it, here's another one. What if you had 8 to the power 6? I'm not going to show the lame elementary school way of showing divided by signs. 8 to the power 6 divided by 8 to the power 2. Here, bases are the same, so it's 8. And here you're going to subtract these two. So when you divide, you subtract the exponents. 6 minus 2, 4. That's it. Okay. You might get longer, crazier questions like this. 10 to the power 5 times 10 to the power 3 divided by 10 to the power 2. Just do it one pair at a time. Don't freak out that there's 3 numbers here. Do these two together. Same base, multiplying. You're going to add the exponents. So this is going to be 10 to the power 8. Then bring down the divided by sign and the 10 to the power 2. And here, you're dividing, same bases. When you divide the same bases, you subtract the exponent. This will be 10 to the power 8 minus 2, 6. That's it. You can get some ugly questions like this. 9 times 9 to the power 4 times 9 to the power negative 2 divided by 9 to the power 3. In this case, just take it one operation at a time. Let's just go left to right. 9 times 9 to the power 4. Same bases. Add the exponents. And you're looking at this and thinking, oh, there is no exponent. But there is. Any digit, all digits always have a to the power 1. So what you'll do here is 9, we're multiplying, so we're going to add the exponents. 4 plus 1, 5. Bring down the times and everything else. Next, left to right this way. We're multiplying, so we're going to add these two exponents. 5 plus negative 2, double sign. They're different, so this can become a big minus sign there. So 5 minus 2 is 3, so it's 9 to the power 3. Bring down the divided by the 9 and the 3. We're dividing, so we're going to subtract. We subtract 3 minus 3. 3 minus 3, 0. We have 9 to the power 0. Now, the special thing about anything to the power 0, which I explained earlier in the year, was that anything to the power 0 is 1. Won't get into why that is the case right now. I explained that earlier in the year. Okay, just remember that anything to the power 0 is 1. 5 to the power 0 is 1. 20 to the power 0 is 1. Negative cajillion to the power 0 would be actually negative 1. There's another little power trick or power exponent rule that we haven't covered yet, and that's when you have a power like 3 to the power 3 in brackets raised to another power like this, 4. In that case, what you're going to do is you're going to multiply the two exponents. So it's going to be 3 to the power 12 in this case. So if you have 4 to the power 6 raised to the power 5, what that means, again, you're going to multiply the 6 times 5, you get 4 to the power 30. Okay, so that was a quick little overview of all the exponent stuff. Keep practicing on the review, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.